Still in the spirit of Easter, I want to wish you a happy Easter. Now, don't forget that Easter celebration continues all the way till the weekend. And of course, we'll be right here to support you with our very best of Sports Show. This is Sport Pizza, where you get the absolute best in the exciting world of sports. My name is Brownson Wana. The show is well loaded for your viewing pleasure. Now, Champions League is on the radar. Who's going to make it to the last four of the tournament? And of course, we'll be giving you all the analysis. And of course, Olakunle Philip is back and he'll be giving us his pick for the finals. And also, it looks like a glimpse of hope in England as some fans will be returning for the finals of the Carabao Cup on the 25th of this month. And lots of other things making around the world of sport. But we'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be giving you all the action. Welcome back. Olakunle Philip makes his return to the show. Kule, good to have you back on the show. I mean, you were out injured last week.
Yeah, I was out injured.
But good to see you again.
I'm really very happy to be back, and I really miss a lot concerning the games the Super Eagles played in the AFCON qualifiers. It was really very exciting, and also I think I enjoyed the weekend looking at games, how things went down in the English Premier League. Arsenal dropping the 3 points against Liverpool. Not forgetting Manchester City also cutting away with the 3 maximum points, and also for the other games, Chelsea. We knew that, before now.
As a matter of fact,
they were going to drop points.
Anyway, for Chelsea fans, I have one word for them, but I'll keep it. I'll keep the word. All right, welcome aboard. Now, quickly, you were not here last week when I looked at the Super Eagles game, and I thought it was very exciting to see the Eagles. Don't forget that in 2020, we didn't get to win any game, and right on this show, I don't want to say we lamented,
yeah,
but we were very sad. But Paul Onuachu silenced all his critics. 2 goals, 2 different games, and especially the game against Benin Republic. That goal qualified us to the African Cup of Nations. I think it was fantastic.
Yeah, even before the game, we were already qualified. Remember that Sierra Leone and the other team, Lesotho, played out a goalless draw, and by virtue of that result, we were already through. But I think I was really very delighted about the way the Eagles played against Benin Republic. The coach for Benin Republic came out to say that they were going to be a bit defensive, that it will be very suicidal if any team in Africa plays with all their full strength, as in going for an all-out attack against the present crop of the Super Eagles that we have right now. And that was exactly the way the Benin actually played. They were a bit defensive, they played cautiously, and they tried to catch the Eagles on the counter. But I think I saw a bit of difference in that game, probably because we had, remember the previous games we played against Sierra Leone, we didn't have the presence of Wilfred.
Yeah, but it seems to be the difference in that team.
The difference, he brought stability into the midfield, and he was coordinating, and he was in charge of the midfield, springing passes, and of course, and one thing I think so much has been said about the fact that the way he picks up the ball from the opponent so easily. I think it was very evident in the 2 games against Benin Republic, and the last one we played right here in Lagos. For me, it was really a very, very good one for Nigeria. That the manner, it wasn't just that we won the game, we probably scored the goals. The manner they played the game, they dictated the pace from beginning to the end of the game. They didn't take their feet off the gas pedal, and at the same time, they were getting in the goals. It was a very good one. And for Paul Onuachu, so much was said before. It was, the coach didn't, when he brought out the list of players, and he wasn't invited, because right now he's still the best Nigerian scorer in Europe as we speak, and he was able to justify his inclusion.
2 games to go.
2 games to go.
Fantastic
for him. And let's not forget, we have so many strikers getting in goals for their respective clubs in Europe. So he has to continue to be at his best. Let's not forget, we have another player who plies his trade with Croton, who scored back the brace over the weekend, Simeon Wankwo, who has 15 goals as we speak in Italia Serie A. That is absolutely massive. We have Murphy, for Lorient in the French Ligue 1, who also is getting in the goals. We have Ademola.
So the competition is very high.
Very, very high. So everyone must be on top of their game.
I agree with
you, to be able to pick a starting 11.
I totally agree with you. I think in a very long while we are beginning to have exciting players, but let's see how well this will go, because the next phase for the Super Eagles is the World Cup qualifying series that would be starting in June. Now we have some dates opened. The Federation of the NFF and of course Federations of Liberia will pick a very one of these dates that would be okay for them. Now we have June 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th to play our first game against Liberia. Now also we have June 11, 12, 13, 14 for the game between Cape Verde Highland. Now the next game will be in September 2021, still World Cup qualifiers. That will be Nigeria versus Central African Republic on the last weekend of 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th of September. One of those dates will be playing Central African Republic. Now the return leg with Liberia would be in October 6, 7, 8 and 9. One of those dates that game would be played. And also we're playing Cape Verde Highland 10, 11, 12 or in October. So one of these dates will be hosting these games, and I think it's very exciting because in 2021 we'll be seeing more games involving the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now let's move away from the Super Eagles game and talk about Nigerian Professional Football League. Big things happening, and excitingly, I must say that this season we've seen more away wins and more goals. Now, I have a friend who punts sometimes. He said in Nigerian league those days, it used to be very difficult to say over 1.5, over 2.5. But now we see more than 1 goals, and it's exciting, Kule. Football is about goals. Yeah. And this season, you must give it to our strikers, our homegrown strikers. They're doing quite well.
I think the strikers are doing quite well, just like you said. And also, kudos to goal to the officials, the referees, who, despite the fact that some of them might feel threatened by the home teams and all of that, they are still able to hold their own. And of course, the officiating is always very top-notch. And you know, Brownson, you quite agree with me that in recent time, since the league resumed this season, we've not had cases of injustice on the part of the away teams or probably the home teams. Everything has been going on smoothly, and we've not had fans encroachment and all of that.
Yeah, there are no fans in the stadium.
Okay. I think that might also, there are no fans, no pressure.
Games are played behind closed doors.
That might be the reason why we've been having the games, you know, running smoothly so far. But as far as the officiating is concerned, most of the time we say that, you know, the home teams always have an edge. They always have an advantage. Even when they don't play well at times, they tend to always have that advantage. But the reverse, it's not the case right now, because if you don't play well, you don't get to win games. If the away games proves to need the game much better than you, they get to get the maximum points. So for me, it's a way to go. I think it should be expected that away wins should be recorded constantly, just the way we have it in the English Premier League,
other leagues, and
other top leagues across the world.
Very well said, Kunle. And of course, that's the table right there on your TV screen. And we must give kudos to the top 3 teams right there. I want to say well deserved. But for the relegation teams, lots of work has to be done if you don't want to be relegated to the national teams. I'm sure the management of these teams, of course, knows what to do at this point. But only time will tell. It's still early days, but congratulations to the top 3 teams at this time. Now, let's move on from the home front and go straight to Europe. Lots of things happening in the UEFA Champions League. It's been absolutely buzzing. But let's look at Man City, Dortmund, Real Madrid, and Liverpool, Porto, Chelsea, Bayern, PSG. Now, Kule, let's look at this potential team to get to the next round of this tournament. Now, Man City are looking at the talk about quadruple is becoming too much. If you look at the potential they have, they stand a chance of clinching the 4th title. But do you see City getting to the next round of this Champions League?
Yeah, I see them getting to the next round of the UEFA Champions League. They have what it takes, and then you can see that they are firing on all cylinders. The last game they played was an emphatic win against Leicester City at the King Power Stadium. And you know, prior to this, the previous game they played in the UEFA Champions League, they were absolutely dominant as well. For Borussia Dortmund, I think over the weekend they played against Eintracht Frankfurt again. I mean, a team almost, you know, I think they were
like a mid-table team.
Yeah, no. Frankfurt is around.
Okay, yeah, fourth thereabouts.
And then you know they are just behind Frankfurt. And probably if they had won that game, they will have been they will have reduced the number of points the Frankfurt leads them with. But unfortunately, they lost by 2-1 in that game. Really speaks volume about how they've been playing, their performances and their form this season. So it hasn't really been very good for them. It's looking like they might not really be winning they might really not be competing with Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig as far as the German Bundesliga is concerned. So against a formidable Manchester City team who looks absolutely unstoppable, who looks absolutely impeccable, and with the way Manchester City seems to be running riot against their opponent in recent times,
so
I really see
them in the semis.
Manchester City in the semi-final.
Okay, now I'm just going to take your predictions for this one. Who's going to the semis? Real Madrid or Liverpool?
Wow.
No analysis on this one. Just tell me.
No analysis. Two most successful teams as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. I'm sorry. When you talk about UEFA Champions League, you really want to talk about Real Madrid. They've won 13, and you know when you look at the way both teams have played as far as their league and yes, fine. Real Madrid didn't start very well this season. You know, at the point in time, it was looking like they were going to crash in the group stage, but they've been picking up, and of course, they've won 4 out of 7 UEFA Champions League in the last 7 years or thereabout. I see them going past Liverpool in this time.
All right, let's see how well that goes. And Bayern PSG, one of the teams to also look out for, and of course, Porto, Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel's unbeaten run ended. We'll take a quick break. And when we come back for Chelsea finally, it will be a good place to begin discussion. Welcome back. Now, we'll get to Chelsea much more later on the show, but let's look at Europa League, and the quarter-final fixtures, of course, has been determined, and very exciting to see that Arsenal take on Slavia Prague, and Ajax will take on Roma, Dynamo Zagreb versus Villarreal, and of course, Granada, Manchester United, quickly, and Arsenal, Slavia Prague. What do you think will go to the next round?
I think Arsenal will go to the next round. They have nothing to. This is their opportunity to probably, claim a silverware this season. It has been a very horrible season, a season to forget for Arsenal so far. So I think the coach of the side, Mikel Arteta, has spoken so excitedly about the opportunity they have to actually clinch the Europa League. So I think against Slavia Prague, they have to be very careful. The team that took out Leicester City and also took out Rangers.
And a very high-scoring side.
High-scoring side. They have one Nigerian player who also is in their rank and also doing well for the team. So I think they have to be very careful. But I think that, having said all, with their experience,
Arsenal should do enough.
Arsenal should be able to pull through.
All right, of course, Ajax Roma. I think this game will be a very strong tie, and it looks like a game that will have lots of goals. Dynamo Zagreb Villarreal might look like a one-way game for me. I think Villarreal should be strong enough. Now, Granada, Manchester United, 2 big teams. Of course, looks like United have got a big fish.
You call them 2 big teams? Come on.
Well, as Europa, for Europa League,
okay,
at Europa level.
Because some Manchester United fans will feel offended when you compare Granada with Manchester United in terms of pedigree.
Where is United now?
United, they are in the Europa League. So their antecedent,
okay,
speaks for volume about what the club
if
is
United,
and what they've achieved.
if United do not want to be compared with Granada,
no, you can't compare.
They should play in the big league, which is Champions League.
Yeah, I don't know.
So for now,
they are on the verge for next season.
Let's wait till next season. For now, they are playing.
Don't disrespect Manchester
another big team in Spain.
Don't disrespect Manchester United.
In fact,
they are not in the same level.
I'm not talking about United again. Let's go to Carabao Cup. A lot of things happening in England. I think Smile gradually will return back to England as fans will be allowed, 8,000 fans precisely, will be allowed to watch the finals of the Carabao Cup between Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur. I think it couldn't come in a better time than this.
Yeah, activities is beginning to return back to football compared to what we saw last year, where the pandemic really took its tolls on sport generally. Now we have the luxury of 8,000 fans to actually grace that game, and they are actually looking at it at testing how they can manage fans from against the COVID-19, and this will actually go a long way to help, because if it eventually works and we don't get to see cases, we don't get to see incidents happening during the course of that game.
So it means next season?
The next season, yes, the fans
even if 50%, I think 50% capacity should be good.
I think the FA Cup semi-final game, I think between Manchester United and I can't remember that game now.
Yeah, we also hear some FA Cup.
The FA Cup
might have some fans as well.
Some fans also gracing the game. So I think the final also, we might have a lot of fans gracing the final. So it's a very, very good, a very welcome development. Fans are really missed. Fans that watch the games from home really miss the fans. Even the players are always complaining about the fact that if they have the fans gracing the games, probably they would have been their performance would have been better. So I think it's a big and a welcome development for football generally.
Now, talking about fans on the pitch of play, just maybe if Stamford Bridge had fans, they would have considered 5-0 in the hands of West Bromwich Albion. The Super Eagles played Lesotho, and I was with a friend. He was saying that they're not counting the West Brom game, that they're looking forward to their other games. And I said, Thomas Tuchel has done well. I respect him as a manager. He's not my favorite, but he came to England. He's played 17 plus games thereabouts, and he's unbeaten. And I said the day that Chelsea would slumber, it would be against West Brom, Fulham, Aston Villa, and maybe some of these other teams. And I became a prophet.
One thing with some of these big teams, I even remember back then, during the time of Sir Alex Ferguson, there was a season, I think 2011, when it was absolutely impeccable. They were in a good run of form, beating all the big teams, and I think they won the league already. 3, 4, 5 games to go, they already won the league, and they had a game against a relegated Wolverhampton Wanderers. And for a team that even Arsenal, Chelsea, and most of the top teams couldn't beat, Wolverhampton Wanderers got a win against Manchester United at the Old Trafford. Then it was a 1-0 victory. So I think when some of these small teams, they have the way they play against these big teams, and I think one of the things that actually mostly work against the big teams is the fact that complacency is setting. They look at what happened between Chelsea and West Bromwich Albion. They looked at the fact that West Brom are 19 on the table, and probably
the rest is a couple of players.
So they felt, Tuchel felt, it was going to be a stroll in the park for them, and they took their feet off the gas pedal. Getting a 5-2 whooping was absolutely more. One would have expected that. No thanks. The player who backed the red card, I can't seem to remember his name right now.
Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva backed the red card. Even with a red card against a West Bromwich Albion team, it shouldn't tell. If you're playing against probably a team like Arsenal or probably against Liverpool, you will have said yes, it will have come to show. But against West Brom, one would have expected Chelsea to still win that game. But losing by as many as 5 goals, I think is a wake-up call. It's a way to tell him that, look,
welcome to England.
Welcome to England.
And don't forget, last season we have Watford ending Liverpool's unbeaten run.
Unbeaten run, and they still they got relegated.
Yeah, with that is a wrap on our show today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We want to appreciate all those. Last week on the show, I said you should go to our social media platforms. I want to appreciate those that went there and that also subscribed to our YouTube channel. So right now, you can just pick up your phone, go to YouTube, type Sport Pizza and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, you can watch all our content right there. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all our other social media platforms displaying on your screen right now. Olakunle Philip, it was very, very good to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much, Bronson, and I'm really very delighted to be back, and we hope that next week when we return, I will have been back with so many news, results of events that must have unfolded in the course of the week.
Very well then, Kule. All right, it's a wrap. Let's do it again next week. My name is Bronson Wana. On behalf of all the production crew, please stay safe.